Undergrunt.
In the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars. When the second of the monk said, I'll take two, and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue. And he shot them straight to Earth when they turned into babies. They were named Bob and Matt, and they rarely got rabies. And the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the time. And one time Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a vet to a cradle, and another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this and more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gym. But if you call right now and say, where's my whisk, we'll include this bonus disc.
Hey, welcome to Bonus Disc! Not even trying to fucking slow down.
Jesus, I like to start the show by praising Skyfather.
Skyfather, thank you for all you've blessed us with once again.
Giving us all these great movies.
I think, honestly, this next one we've watched is really a Skyfather classic.
It's in the SK or SFCs. No, anyway, all right.
What the fuck? If you don't know what we're talking about, you got to listen to our last episode, which was the
Paradise Lost or whatever.
The conference, the encounter, the encounter, Paradise Lost.
All you need to know is Skyfather is more important than anything.
Skyfather he's in charge of what the camera sees.
Yes.
He sees
when
everything.
You're watching the movies, you praise the Skyfather.
But let's stop talking about last episode.
Anyway. I'm just trying to establish a new religion around the Skyfather.
I'm Bob Rose, and with me is the Skyfather of this podcast.
I'm a Skyfather enthusiast.
Matt P.A. And with us is Huey Hesson.
Yeah, hi.
Huey. You've been on this podcast before.
I have.
Even though you act like you have not.
I was on the Elves reunion episode. Didn't count.
Yeah.
Theodore Rex.
That totally counts.
Count, man.
It's a great movie.
That's a great episode, a great movie, a great time.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
So all your complaining is useless.
Thanks for doing it.
Thank you, and thank you for bothering with this.
Yeah, you know.
Because you chose the movie, actually.
I did.
And it was Ankle Biters.
Ankle Biters.
I was really happy for 20 minutes, and then I was really mad for like 60.
It's a pretty angry movie.
Yeah, it was not an enjoyable experience.
At all.
No.
Bad.
No. I kept relating it to another movie that we never did on this podcast, but it was Vampire Dentist.
Yeah.
Because me and Huey watched that years ago. I've seen it like 5 times.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot.
A great movie. Like I said, it's a great movie.
Matt's probably favorite movie. It's amazing.
I've only seen it once. It's a great movie.
It's a shame you've not seen it more. Anyway, we were like, okay.
Who the fuck has that kind of time? We're all gonna die one day. You know that, right? You guys watched Vampire Dentist 4 times. It's insane.
Jesus, what a waste.
And so I
thought at the gates, and they're like, "Wait, you're one of the guys who watched Vampire Dentist all those times."
The Skyfather had nothing to do with Vampire Dentist.
You're going to hell because you obviously didn't appreciate living.
Yeah, you fucked up, man.
So I thought Ankle Biters would be just as maybe insane as Vampire Dentist is insane.
Yeah.
So it'd be fun.
I had actually I found out about Ankle Biters when I used to work in Hollywood Video. And they were selling it. It was for rent there. They had 1 copy, and I rented it. And I watched there's a scene where they're like under a bridge, and I watched it. I turned it off, and I never watched it again.
So you knew?
I knew a little bit. No. Remember the first 20 minutes are all right.
Well, that's because it establishes this thing that could be really cool and nuts, but then they do nothing with it. And put a bunch of old people in.
Oh my God!
Has it been another 20 minutes? Add another old guy to the movie.
You know, when I heard the title, and I heard about this movie years ago, I thought it was about children vampires.
That would have been
because to me, Ankle Biters are children. Yeah,
I
but
call like a small person.
Okay, you're right. Okay, let's establish that before we go talk about this movie. They're small people.
Little people play the vampire.
I'm not up to date on what's okay.
They call them dwarfs in the film.
Yes.
They do call them dwarfs in the film. Is that okay?
We're just going by what the film established in this. We are not...
Dude, yeah, but if you watch Birth of a Nation, you're like, well, we're just going to go by what
they are dwarves. They're dwarves because they're all like 3 feet tall. Like if they're...
How long are their fangs?
I'm just asking... I'm asking,
what is... This one goes out the category of midget.
Oh, Jesus.
Midgets are smaller than that. And disproportionate body shapes and stuff.
All right.
They were dwarves.
They're small people.
They're different.
They're little people.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm calling them dwarves.
But that's what I'm saying. The movie is about little people who are vampires, not kids who are vampires. Which is, I was very deceived by the title. Because the dwarves have to bend over to get to. They can't just go right for shins.
Yeah, they like dive at the ankles.
Yeah, they dive.
Right, so they're still really struggling to get.
They didn't even need to really bite anybody on the ankle for the name to really work. You know what I mean? I get it. They're small, bitey guys.
They killed that old man by biting him right in the neck. The guy who sold him the sword.
Hold on, stop. You're
all right,
sorry. Way ahead.
Sorry.
So much.
It's so.
That's just one scene ahead.
So
much.
All right.
How did it start?
It starts out with that dude running away, and then you hear the giggles.
Oh wait, the guy who wrote and directed this was on The Walking Dead. Now let's move on.
Okay, he was Ed. He's the abusive husband in the first season who gets murdered.
And it makes so much sense.
Third episode or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys getting chased, midgets.
But you hear like giggles.
Or dwarves rather.
It's to me, like the camera's very low to the ground, like where a gremlin height would be.
Yes, yeah.
See, like I was,
so
I was like, it's got to be a kid that's a vampire, because it's like babies. And they never laugh like that through the rest of the movie.
No, they do one other time,
and that's
when
T-Bone does it.
Yeah.
T-Bone.
We'll get there though. T-Bone, shout out.
Man.
The only. All right, we'll get to it.
God.
Fuck him.
Oh man.
I still feel like I missed half an hour of this movie trying to get delivery right. But whatever,
matter.
it's
fine.
fine.
You get the gist.
You missed a lot of people falling over and getting blood smeared on them.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It was a lot of what the middle of this movie was.
Oh, we rewound it a few times. Okay, so yeah, this guy's getting chased by what seems to be like gremlins or ghoulies or some shit like that.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny. Tiny, small. Like, and it has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
It seems like it's going to be funny.
It's
the whole movie kind of set itself up get ready for ghoulies.
But then it's just like
boring
and then it's
fucking
like
Blade.
Hip-hop
dwarves.
Dwarf vampires.
It's like Fago Blade.
It's,
Dude, it is.
The way your face looked when you just...
Yeah, it really was. I mean, goddamn it.
I'm surprised there wasn't Fago in this.
I said, oh man, that would be perfect.
It's like
or
Juggalo.
But
it's like a Juggalo biker Blade.
I said that this reminded me
what
of...
year was it? 90s?
2002.
2002.
I said it reminded me of
myself.
Of a vampire movie made in the universe of Idiocracy.
Yeah.
That's
sort
of
when
what
you see, like, when they're like, oh, this is the big tough guy, we gotta turn into a vampire. You're like, hey, guy's just neck doesn't exist because his head is just a lump.
Yeah.
What? He's not intimidating.
The whole thing also, if you watch it, you'll see it's filmed on like a consumer grade camera.
Yeah.
With no sound equipment.
You can watch it on
All
YouTube.
the sound is from the camera.
Yeah.
And you can barely hear anything.
It's beautiful.
Oh man.
We were watching it.
That serpent woman walks up and says that whole line and you don't hear
so
a word
good.
of it.
Wait, we'll get to that. They've got scenes though with like bikes going off next to the camera.
Motorcycles. And it is just, it's
and
over.
They throw in 2 dune buggies.
Everything's peaking.
And they're trying to put like sound effects over this. It's just blown the fuck out. And they're trying to put noises over. And you're like, what? It's just, they turn from like, into, like it's just like
no, it's like everything's just vibrating.
It's so bad.
There's
man.
like
it's
scenes
awesome.
where like nothing's happening and a woman screams and it blows the entire speaker out.
That was so good. That was one of my. I said that I was like, I just want that shot out of context.
I wish it was more blown out. Like even like the entire thing was just constantly blown out. You can't hear anything.
Sort of was when people screamed when they died.
Yeah.
It was just as blown out. It was either people mumbling or somebody going, like,
dude, when they were killing that guy and he's screaming into the corner of that garage and it's like,
hold on, don't get ahead of it. I love movies like this though when they're filming scenes and it's like a wide shot and yet they have the dialogue from the wide shot but the camera mic is on the camera.
Oh my God, yes.
And then they turn in post, they just jack up the fucking gain so that you can hear what somebody's saying, but it brings all the fucking room.
Oh, awesome. Dude,
it's so good, man.
It's good. It's so great. Oh, dude, it's great. It's so great.
So loud.
Anyway, that guy's got chased. We thought it was a gremlin.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It's like these 4
little people, dwarves,
Vampire
whatever.
Dwarves. Like movie called them dwarves.
Dwarfs.
I feel like I'm in a safe space when I say it because of the movie put me there. So I'm gonna call them dwarves.
I don't,
vampire dwarves.
I don't think anybody's calling ankle biters the birth of a nation of the dwarf community.
All right.
So,
God, see, just
This is move on.
yeah, Jesus.
We haven't talked about any of the movie.
There's nothing to talk about.
there's so little dialogue.
Yeah, there's very little dialogue. 4 dwarf vampires eat the man,
And
that's-
they start to.
They start to eat
Yeah.
the guy, and that's when the hero, I guess, although it is a bunch of
He's kind of a
shitty
dick,
stuff.
yeah.
and
He's a
an
white
asshole.
blade
He's a white blade
who
and
sucks.
has his
His name is
own.
Drexel, right?
His name is fucking.
I don't know.
I gotta imagine when he was writing this movie, he's like, "I love True Romance. It's gonna be a great reference." Gary Oldman's gonna love this movie. I'm surprised there wasn't a character named Zorg.
Oh, Jesus.
I've never heard Drexel anywhere
No,
else
no,
but
yeah,
True
yeah.
Romance. That's
What
it.
was it? Was Draws, too.
Draws, yeah, like he loved PCU.
Oh my
True
god.
Romance.
This is his homage.
Dude.
So then, but it's basically Blade
Oh, it
But
is.
No, the movie's Blade. It's
Yeah.
like Blade-ish.
in
Yeah.
Alabama. It's Blade in Alabama with the sun out.
Yeah.
Just some good old
If
boys.
you eat Pop-Tarts and bologna
killing
for like
dwarves.
3/4 of your meals, this is the Blade you'd make.
This is yeah.
Yeah, it's literally that. Like if you eat lots of cheese
If
that's
you
not made
ever
with milk.
cried outside of a bar while the sun was still in the sky, this is the movie for you. You were like,
This could just turn into fucking Jeff Fox. If your home's on cinder blocks, you would probably make ankle biters.
that's awesome.
Oh my god.
What's happening?
That guy
Okay,
doesn't
okay.
get killed.
He shows up.
We gotta go faster. That's
Yeah,
like the first scene.
Oh, yeah, okay, so they show up.
It's
him,
There is him and his sidekick,
and T-Bone.
T-Bone, who is a normal dwarf.
Yes.
Like he's not a vampire.
No, he's just a
There's
dwarf.
nothing supernatural about him.
Which makes it incredibly confusing.
Like also, okay,
Yeah, like,
yeah.
why-
Why is he? All right. Anyway, they.
I want to talk about.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, this opening scene, they're shooting. Okay, they show up with a shotgun. They show up with a shotgun and they're shooting the little dwarves. T-Bone immediately gets taken down by another dwarf vampire,
Yeah.
and
But he doesn't bite him or anything.
no. Also, the shotguns don't kill him here, but later in the movie they do kill him.
No, they have the needles. They show them shooting needles.
So that they're
shotguns.
shooting. But why wasn't he doing that when they were fighting them the first time?
Because he had.
You're talking about the fight under the bridge,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like why? He must have been prepared for that. Why show up if you can't do anything?
He killed one of them there with a needle.
Okay, hold on.
No, he tried
I feel like we
that right
haven't
away.
set the scene up. You're arguing about the logistics before we set the scene up.
Yeah.
We did. There's like they're fighting under the bridge.
Yeah,
It's
they're,
like all that.
they're
there's
eating
the-
him. He shows up. They start to fight.
I guess you're
Was
right.
there any? Did I miss something? Like, what the
Is
fuck
there
else
like some
happened?
subtext?
I guess in my mind I was hoping I was missing something.
They probably talked for a long time and it showed them walk for a while.
he did.
Dude, the walk time in this.
is
a
like
lot.
40% of the film.
Yeah, I'm gonna
a lot of
hashtag Justin Chanel for giving
walk
me
time.
that walk time phrase. We finally coined it.
Walk time.
Walk time. Bad
time.
movies have walk time, and there
There's
is
a
a
lot of
lot
it.
of walk time in this
A
movie.
whole lot. A
There's
lot.
slow motion walk time. It's Jesus. Slow motion.
Oh my god! And it's
Slow
all
motion.
it's
slow
in weird
motion.
times too. Like when people are just turning around, it'll.
Not bad slow motion.
Dude,
Bad slow motion.
bad.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm yelling at a bear. Like
Bad slow
bad
motion.
slow motion. Stay in the yard.
He speaks like in that whole scene. It's like all one-liners. Hey, shortcake, let's party. And like,
Well,
oh, yeah,
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
sure
he
he
thinks
said
he
some
thinks it's really
snappy
cool and
things.
funny.
yeah.
The dialogue's garbage.
Well, he wants this. I assume I gotta assume that he wants this to be like, I don't know, like a drive angry type of tone. You know, like silly.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I
There's
mean?
some silly stuff near the beginning, and that's why I got mad after 20 minutes, because there's no more. The
silly stuff goes away.
But then it
yeah.
comes back at weird points, like the whole thing with the stripper.
Hold on,
guess.
don't go
I'm just-
ahead of it. Okay, so this
Doesn't
fight
matter.
under the bridge happens. It does matter. That's what we do. Fight under the bridge happens, and it ends. They beat the shit out of the
Two of them
vampires.
escape. He kills one of them.
He kills one.
I don't think he kills one.
He shoots.
He definitely stabbed one with a
There's 4 of them at that scene, and there's 4 of them throughout the rest of the freaking movie.
He shoots.
All right, fine.
He shoots stuff with. They have real guns with real blanks in them,
Yeah.
which is like I guess the production value. But he shoots the black dwarf in the stomach, and he does like a
Tumbles back
flip,
at point
but he has
blank
no
range.
blood on him whatsoever.
No.
There's no hole blown in him.
In fact, it's just like if he's supposed to be Blade, he just uses guns. There's
Yeah.
no like I
He's
have
not Blade,
vampire,
except that he wears a trench coat. He doesn't even have a sword.
but he does. But he is Blade because he is a vampire. He's half vamp.
what we think.
He's a half breed. They keep calling him half breed in the movie.
God.
He's because they can't say he's a daywalker because in this movie vampires aren't
can walk in
affected.
yeah, they're not
They just
affected by
kind of
the-
don't like this.
It hurts their eyes.
Basic, man, all right. God, I want to talk about what vampires are, but we haven't gotten to that point.
Okay, so man, what the fuck happens after that? Because the scenes
Well,
just
okay.
happen.
They get away.
They get away and
Then
they go.
talk to the guy. They just
They
leave
go to
that
get the
guy,
sword.
right?
Yeah, no, they say, where did you get this? Well, who told you about it? He's like, they were at a rave, man. They started biting everybody.
Yeah, I got an address from a. He said I got an address from a bartender up the alley.
Yeah, and he's like,
There's just a bar in the alley.
and then they just roll out.
What alley? They're in a train yard or whatever.
Yeah, they are.
Who the fuck knows?
All right, whatever.
So
Fine, go
It
buy
does
the
not
sword.
matter.
the next thing is
Yeah.
the sword.
Two guys. All right.
Oh.
So we're watching.
I like how that silence right there. Where we're all like,
Just roll.
God damn it!
Oh my god, it's that early in the movie. Dude, when they're just showing stuff, they're like scene establishing,
Oh,
kinda
yeah,
like
yeah.
montages.
Just the train yard
yeah,
part.
yeah. Where's bullshit? Like you're looking at grass or like water, and then there's like a boat. But it's clearly like they just noticed the boat.
Oh,
was too
God.
late, so they,
Somebody
like,
else.
got the camera back out and started shooting it, and like, oh, okay.
I forgot about that boat.
And then the two guys come walking up the hill like they got off the boat, but it was so obvious that they were like, ooh, a boat. We didn't pay for that. That's great.
It's great.
And they're like, actually, you know what? You guys just come up from the water.
And yeah.
It was like you got here on the boat.
Every
movie
scene,
sucks.
every scene starts with like
Dicks.
shots that would be beautiful in like a real movie. You know, like macro
yeah.
shots of
Yeah.
like just area things to give you in the mood, the tone. But it's shot with a camcorder, so it's just
It
shots.
looks like shit.
It's
It looks like my mom is holding a camcorder trying to point it at stuff. You know, it just looks like shit. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
And then it goes into the scene. It fades into a scene. And it's just like, what the fuck? Because that's the scene with the guy and the old man.
They come up the hill. The old man says the word fuck,
Fuck, like
in
1,000
every
times,
single
yeah.
line. He's like, "This is a weird fucking place to meet somebody." And
My
then the
leg fucking hurts.
Guy, yeah. They both kept
Where the
saying
fuck's
fuck
our
or
money?
piss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fuck, piss, and what? Anyway,
And
it
then
was amazing.
yeah, so the
and the dwarves
the ankle
show.
biters.
The ankle biters
I assume
were
they're
there.
the ankle
They
biters.
have to be. There's
All right,
nobody
the
else.
ankle biters
Why do they
show
have a
back up.
gang name called? Huh.
Ankle biters show up.
To
They're
buy
like,
the
"Oh,
sword.
this is weird."
Where's-
And they're like, "Where did you bring it? The sword?" And we all started laughing because we're like, "Why is there a sword involved?" It's a big fucking sword too, which is funnier because
Yeah, with a
Ankle
red gem
biters.
in it. We should point.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So the guy unveils this sword and it's got a gem in it. They take it and they're like, "This is the sword of some fucking guy or whatever." They're all mumbling. It's like
When you have an
for
ancient sword in
details-
the hands of like 9 people who look like they ate dinner in a Walmart, it's like, I mean, they look.
How the fuck did you come across this?
These people look bad.
It's not good.
And they're
Like, yeah, how would they ever
Get a
encounter
hold of
this
this
fucking
thing.
sword?
and they were like,
He's like, "You pay us," and he's like, "No, this is our
it's-
birthright.
You can't put a price on this. It's our birthright."
We're gonna use this sword to turn." This sword contains the blood of the last tall vampires. What they say.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
And
they
whip
can
it.
use
We can,
it.
yeah.
We can use this sword to make more tall vampires because all the tall vampires were killed, and only dwarf vampires exist.
That's the final
Hold on,
species. Yeah.
but you can God. vampire dwarf can only turn other dwarves into vampires.
Yeah, height is important.
Yes.
What about...
I mean...
What?
Where did that happen? Like, what? We're all human beings. It's insane.
Yeah.
Dwarves can
If
only
this
turn
was
dwarves
like-
into vampires, so they have to get a sword.
You're like 3 steps away from saying like it's a racist movie where like
Yeah.
If
there
a certain
were-
if you can I can only bite like an Italian guy and turn him into
Yeah.
it'd be
there
bad.
were 2 black ankle biters,
Right.
and they were the only people who got shot repeatedly at point
Yeah,
blank
the violence
range.
against them was way more.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Yeah, you're right.
kinda crazy.
Yeah.
It was weird. I was just pointing stuff out. This movie's very odd and terrible.
Everybody in this movie
Fucking
probably voted for Donald Trump, or will vote for
Is
Donald
going
Trump.
to.
I mean, maybe.
Dude.
Yes.
If you voted for Donald Trump, you probably would be interested.
You probably were on the cast or crew of Ankle Biters.
I was on the street team. I voted for Trump too.
Street
Fuck,
team.
piece of shit.
So they get the sword that enables them to turn tall
Tall
people
people
into
into
vampires
vampires,
instead of just dwarves.
Yes.
Now that we
Okay.
know that, how dumb is it that that Blade, Drexel, has a human sidekick who is a dwarf, being one of the few people on the planet that
Who
can.
could actually
Sleepy-
get turned into the thing he's supposed to be
Yeah.
hunting. It's real dumb.
It's so stupid.
It's like-
yeah. But he's
I
not.
didn't really think about how fucking stupid it was until you just said it.
Yeah, I
Because
thought
I
about
was
it
gonna
immediately.
say, like, why the fuck was there a human dwarf that wasn't a vampire?
Yeah. He's like the
Involved in this whole business because if
Like,
you just
run!
stay
What are you
away from it, you have a much better chance of staying alive. Because apparently the dwarf vampires like bite all these.
Well, we
tall
find
people
out
and
now.
they're fine. They don't die. They don't shrink like you were saying. You're like, oh, I hope people start shrinking.
Yeah, because then they would be were-dwarfs or something.
Yeah.
I feel like we're really. This is not okay.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway.
But here's the thing: we do find out his
using the
reasons
language of
for
the
it,
film.
though. It's because his parents were probably
Were
dwarfs,
werewolves,
and they got turned into ankle biters, and then Drexel.
Drexel killed the parents.
That's I'm jumping ahead, but
That's stop.
Yeah, like we
dude,
don't know.
I don't even know what happened
All right.
between that and.
Bear in mind, we didn't know that until like the back half of this movie.
Hold on. Stop. Where are we?
Okay, right now they just bought the sword, and then it goes to Drexel and
We're at the
T-Bone.
beginning.
Jesus.
T-Bone at the bar. 'Cause
That
they go
scene
to
is so
the-
useless.
Dude,
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. It's funny.
They beat
'Cause-
up a bunch of people.
He hits that one guy with that bottle like
That
hard.
was really
Perfect.
funny.
I think that was a real bottle.
Yeah, he looked really proud of himself.
It looked bad.
and then he does that little dance. He does a little dance.
He
Yeah.
punches a woman in the face.
That was incredible. Fucking
Like, is that
Drexel
supposed to be
just-
funny?
He
What the
straight
fuck?
punches this woman in the face. He looks over at T-Bone, and T-Bone goes, "Man,"
Oh.
and then he like shrugs,
What are you
and
gonna
he
do?
just move along.
As an
You're like,
audience, as part of the audience, what am I supposed to get from that?
Hold on.
That
No,
you
hasn't
think it's
happened yet.
funny to see a
Oh.
woman get clocked in the face
It was
by the hero
weird.
of the movie?
He's
Dude, the hero does some questionable shit in
He's
this
an
movie.
idiot. That's then the like
The bartender, he does
bartender
the,
like pulls a shotgun. He's like, "Get out of here, man."
and he shoots him.
Oh man, the bartender's
bartender's
acting is.
His name in the credits was Elmo Fag.
We're not.
Like,
That's what his name in the credits
this
was.
movie's doing things to us. I
I'm
can't
falling
understand.
apart. It's
Dude, he's like, hey man, don't kill me.
Oh, that was great. He shoots
his
him in the
acting
back.
was unbelievable.
This is when you realize that he's a vampire because he's
Yeah.
just been fighting vampires. And then
Right.
the bartender shoots him in the back with a shotgun. He turns around and he puts the shotgun there and goes, "Please don't kill me.
Yeah, he's like,
Please look.
Please,
please
don't kill me."
But he takes off his glasses and he's got cat eyes like Mac
yeah.
from fucking when
Oh
he's
yeah, he
playing
looks
Nightman.
exactly like Mac, looking like Nightman. It's really good.
And then he cuts his wrist or something
Oh,
and
he
takes
takes
a shot of his blood.
Right.
And you're like, oh, okay, so he's a vampire.
Dude, and it's so casual too. He just slices the guy's wrist open and he goes, "Oh damn, man!"
Yeah.
Like the
Oh,
guy just had
oh.
his wrist slit, And he's so like, oh man.
Oh, wow. He was supposed to deliver a message to someone. He just slit his wrist and left.
How smart is it if you want to deliver you have someone deliver a message, you drain them of their fucking
Oh my
cloth.
God.
That's right. Get the brain really working.
Beautiful.
Jesus.
This
Then after that,
scene
that's
doesn't
like-
matter.
no,
This
then
scene.
it goes to the art dude.
Oh, the art. No, art guy. Yes.
Yeah, it goes to him.
There's this guy. What did I say? He looked like a
He looked like
project
Manny.
manager at a contracting company.
But he's supposed to be
like-
like a rich
Yeah, he's
dude.
supposed to be a rich guy. He's in an art gallery, and this guy walks up and he goes, "Very good choice, sir. I'll wrap it up." And he's like, "Thank you." They're all rednecks.
He's wearing. You know what? Okay, look what he was wearing in that scene. He was wearing like a Cosby sweater.
Yeah.
And is that okay to say anymore?
That's what it is.
No, seriously.
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
Are we allowed to say anything we're saying right now?
This movie makes you a bad person.
Yeah.
It
Oh
really
my
does.
God, it does.
He's wearing a Cosby sweater, and it looks like they said, "Hey man, dress like you're a millionaire."
He's
You know,
like,
before you get to the set or
Yeah, yeah.
before we
Yeah,
film.
look,
your
Cosby's
own
doing
wardrobe.
well
And
for
he just
himself.
hit the best thing in that guy's wardrobe was a fucking Cosby sweater.
A gray one. No, it was like brown.
It was
His whole
brown. It
outfit
looked like
was
shit.
brown.
It looked like
Dude.
it looked like shit. Literal shit.
Then he gets a phone call. No,
No,
he
no.
just buys that shit.
Yeah, and then it goes to the scene. Okay, it goes to when they go to like the office building to kill that.
Oh yes.
Oh,
okay.
Jesus.
Fuck. So Drexel,
But when they pull up,
Drexel and T-Bone pull up on their motorcycle with a sidecar. This is
a sidecar.
This movie is insane.
Might as well put the guy in clown makeup.
I know it's fucked.
Come on, man.
So then they pull up to this building, and he parks in the handicap spot in front of the building. And T-Bone goes, he's like, I guess our taxes pay for this. And he's like, what are you? He always talks like Christian Bale Batman.
Yeah.
Almost. He's like,
What are you saying?
And he's like, it's handicap parking. Let's just park like a normal person. And
Wait,
there's
no,
a
he
lot
says-
of criminals
No,
around here.
yeah, he says, man, you can't park in a handicap spot. There's a lot of criminals around here.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
that
says,
sentence-
and there's a lot of criminals around here, right?
yeah.
No, he said it one fluent sentence,
Okay.
like it was
You can't park
connected.
here. There's a lot of criminals.
If
around
you
here.
park in a handicap spot, criminals will be a problem. That's
we
what he was
were all like,
implying.
Yeah.
But you should be
Yeah.
telling him not to park in a handicap spot because it's a handicap spot.
These are two
And
separate-
also,
yeah.
separately from that point,
Lots
there
of-
are lots of criminals around here.
So
But shouldn't you just not park anywhere if the criminals...
yeah, it
The
doesn't.
spot,
yeah,
it was an empty parking lot.
Dude, when that scene happened, I started talking about it, and you just went, there are so many questions about
But
this.
why he's worried about that specific thing.
So they go inside.
Except now that I'm seeing all this stuff, it's all this stuff that stuck out to us that was completely insane is just so certain things can happen.
Yeah, that definitely seems like it.
Yeah, right.
But
Like,
we don't know that
why
yet.
he's the only midget or dwarf that isn't
Jesus, man.
He's the only dwarf.
Falling apart.
He's the only dwarf who isn't a vampire. So that,
Uh,
like, the Whistler thing can happen.
The Whistler thing,
It's
right.
like
Well, in there, they...
garbage.
What
And
happens
then
in the office? They beat up...
They go and they find that other. There's like a little vampire.
just-
That guy locked in a room, and he's dressed
But
in a
he's dressed,
business.
he's dressed like a businessman.
Yeah, he's like.
Yeah.
And
He
so
looks like he's at work. And they go and kill him.
they go.
And his boss goes, "What's going on here?" And they're like, "No, they just shut up." And they walk
And
out
they
of the
leave.
building.
They leave. That's it.
And you're like, "Why did we look at this?"
But while they're in there, a criminal
steals
steals...
their bike. What? You're like, what is going on?
Oh my god, the fact that
He just walks up and takes their bike. I wish this was like, if this was in black and white with like a shitty like, 1920s filter and you just sped it up 1.5
God.
and then threw a lot of this movie would be amazing and perfect. Like,
dude. Oh, so
should we park here? I don't know. It's hard to park. It's gonna be fine. And then it's the biker walks out, takes the bike.
to evil music, like... yeah.
he's got like a round bomb.
Yeah, his top hat, Snidely Whiplash.
It would have been. This movie's hilarious.
So, yeah, okay.
So
So
then,
they have no car anymore. They have
no, they have no vehicle. But then it goes back to the rich dude.
Who we show his palatial estate, which
Yes, it's
looks
like,
like
a
the nice.
plantation.
Well, yeah, but it just kind of looks like the nicest house in Dundalk.
Yeah.
Like, what's the nicest house in Dundalk? It's here. We got it.
Yeah.
And we can film for an hour. Let's get a
Only outside.
hot woman with a tray and a glass of blood who can barely speak.
Glass of wine. That was wine. He's not a vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a vampire
We
hunter.
thought it was blood though at first.
So yeah, he's standing there. This woman takes this incredibly long walk down this hallway to bring him a fucking glass of wine on a plate and a phone, and mumble. Like multiple sentences, but it was all just, this is fucking we were all like, wait, what? We had the volume at like 75, and we were all like, what did she say? What was that?
Dude, the band sound is
There's
unbelievable.
barely ever dialogue. When it happens, you're wanting it, and you still can't get it. You're like, what?
Someone describe what's happening.
I need an anchor
Then
of
it's
some
like
kind.
then you just hear Charlie Brown's parents screaming at you.
Lost in movie hell. It's like movie hell limbo. You're like,
Oh man.
Jesus Christ.
So that happens, and that just cuts away after he.
Yeah, like he's like, I gotta leave. He's like,
That scene's useless because we don't know what she's saying.
and we
Yeah.
don't know.
So
Yeah,
it
But
doesn't.
then,
they haven't really introduced that guy in any way other than the rich guy who bought a painting once.
no, and
So-
then
They
That's when
went
it
to a
cuts-
museum to shoot a scene that had no pertinence to the plot.
Didn't mean anything. Then it cuts to him standing on the side of a road in a trench coat with a. Well, you can't tell it's him yet. It's just like a side of a road, and a car parks, that like old timey car parks.
Yeah.
And he picks up the briefcase. And he
I
walks
feel
up
like
to the
you
car.
skipped
This-
ahead.
No, you did.
No.
You did. Because the next thing is him taking the car from that dude.
I thought they went. No, I thought the next thing was them going
No.
to the garage.
No. I think the
We didn't
next-
go. We haven't been there yet.
Remember, he has to get another car because they took his motorcycle. So the
Hold
next
on,
thing
hold
is
on,
he
hold
gets
on.
his
No,
car.
This guy has bought the fucking bow and arrow at some point.
Yeah, no, he does, but he hasn't bought it
Right.
yet because he hasn't come to the area yet.
Good God.
All right.
I think the next thing is that they steal
but they
that
don't
car.
steal the car until they need to go somewhere, which is kind of hilarious. And they don't need to go somewhere until the cop calls them.
Okay, you're right. All right, that's true.
Oh, what happened? I think that's when they go.
To the garage.
No, but they kill somebody in an alleyway or something because that's what the cop finds.
Really? I don't remember that at all.
They kill some random people or something because there's a crime scene with the cop and the guy goes,
Oh, you're right.
got a
"It was a
homicide."
murder." Yeah, we got a homicide. They've already put the body in a car. They've been there
That's
for
like-
at least like an hour
That's
or
like
two.
3
of
minutes
doing
of
work.
film where no sound is happening except for sirens, and it's them loading a
Dude,
dude.
And the
sirens-
sirens are
It's
blown
like
out.
they took a camcorder, put it next to an ambulance, and
Sensitivity
just
high.
yeah.
Oh my
Just
god.
like, I want to get everything. Yeah, I'm just like, we're filming an ambulance today.
I wish I didn't find bad sound as funny as I do.
It's
Because
funny,
it's
man.
so funny. It's such a
It pulls
cacophony
you
of
like
horse
right
shit.
out of anything. You can't.
No, it's
When
terrible.
it's that blown out, you sound like you're sitting in your buddy's car while he's like playing
It's
some
like-
shitty music.
It's somehow muffled and deafening at the
the
same time. It's like,
right? It's
Dude.
great. There's such chaos. It's
God.
and then they have scenes where they added music,
Yeah.
like in the club and
That's
stuff.
what drove
Can we-
Matt
I
crazy.
can't-
We
I'll
can't. We're
probably
not there
not-
yet.
I can't sit through this movie again. I will never sit through this again.
That's rare for Matt to
because the
say.
music aspect of
It's
this
so
film
bad.
is so
It's like, no,
abhorrent.
and-
It's abrasive. It's like attacking you. It's
If GIFs were music,
yeah.
what they would.
Yeah.
Yes.
If this movie was a website, the background of their site would just be a bunch of GIFs. And you would be wanting to kill yourself because it's like a riff to a guitar song. You're like, man, and you're like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. An entire action sequence
Scene.
goes on with you're, I couldn't, man. And that's why I started to hate it because I was after 20 minutes, I was like, I've been listening to that guitar riff for 15 minutes.
It's
I hate
unbearable.
this fucking movie. I hate it. I fucking
the
hate
club scene, man. You looked
it.
furious
I
at
was
that
really
club
mad,
scene.
man.
Anyway.
Anyway, we're not
let's
there
go-
yet.
We'll go to the garage. That's what.
The garage is pretty big things
Yeah.
happen at the garage because there's two giant Mr. Clean looking guys.
Yes.
No.
There's
The guy
one.
working on the bike is.
Is he not big? I thought he was
he was just
big-ish.
like a regular dude.
He's a regular guy.
And he's like, I'm gonna go get a burger at the Waffle Shack.
Were they
Oh yeah,
all
those
related?
man, those burgers taste like piss. Who knows?
That's because Cletus pisses in them or whatever.
Right, which I'm pretty sure he was lifting from Desperado.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a guy working on a bike, a bigger guy just watching him work on a bike, and a girl watching him watch a guy work on a bike.
Who it turns
And
out to
then-
be, she's the Mr. Clean guy's sister.
Sister, yes.
Right.
That's why I'm wondering if the other dude was his brother.
He gets killed, so.
Yeah, he
Doesn't
treats him
matter.
kind of bad. Maybe he's just an employee.
But he does get killed,
But
right?
they're sitting
Oh, yeah,
there, they're
they
working on
kill
the car. He's like, I want to get a burger. He's
So
like,
the-
I'm going to take a piss.
The ankle biters show up.
Yeah,
Ankle
while
biters
the
show
big
up
dude's
while
gone.
Ray, the big guy, is in peeing. Ankle biters show up. They kill.
He say, "Where's Ray? Are you Ray?" And he's like, "No, he'll be back in a minute though." And they're like, "Snack time."
Right.
Dude, you can barely tell with anytime the ankle biters say something.
anything.
You have like a 40% chance of getting it. I'm not even joking because they're
That's-
not facing the camera a
that's
lot of the
super
time, and
accurate,
it is
man.
just the camera
Right.
mic. So like,
I
they're
didn't even
saying
check if there
stuff-
was closed captioning on
Who
YouTube.
gives a
YouTube
shit,
has
man?
closed captioning
The
now.
YouTube closed captioning is not good.
It's not.
It's
No.
very bad.
It's very bad. That's what makes it kind of funny, though.
Yeah, I was watching stuff doing it for a while, but it is fun.
So they kill him. The big guy gets back. Or wait, did she do anything with them?
She's on the phone.
She's
calling
trying to
for
call
a part.
a part number. Yeah, she got
Right.
a part number from one dude.
Right,
The
so-
worker gets killed. Then Ray comes back, and they fight with him. And while they're fighting, the girl hears it.
Because it sounds like they're
back in.
fucking in the other
Yeah.
room.
Ugh.
He
Ugh.
shows the door
Ugh.
into like a closet, but it's supposed to be the other room, which it isn't. It's
It's
like
so
dark.
not. Yeah, it's like a dark closet.
And then she calls who?
She calls the cops.
She calls the cops. Oh, we forgot. The cops had already been called. Cops already.
At the other scene.
They were at that other crime scene, and the guy goes, "It looked like the guy was mauled by a bunch of wolves." And he's like, "Nobody will believe that." And he goes, "Give me 1 second," and he calls
Drexel.
Drexel and tells him that they're.
They've
No,
got-
no, no, no. He says that earlier.
Yeah.
But then when she calls the cops, he
He
gets
calls
that.
Drexel, yeah.
He calls Drexel about the fucking. Oh, God, the car garage or whatever.
So anyway, they pin the big dude, and then they knock him out, and then the two ankle biters are standing
Start
over him with the swords,
saying something.
and they're saying stuff, but you can tell they're like making it up as they're like their eyes
Yeah.
are like shifting back and forth.
They're
like
looking like
Mugga Nugga.
Shakara.
So-
Ah!
Muhammad.
Mumra. No.
And then they just jam it into the dude's chest, and he wakes up and he's a vampire.
Yep.
He's a tall vampire.
So by the act of stabbing him with a sword,
It was some sort of incantation.
Yeah, like the incantation, and I guess they put the soul.
with the gem,
yeah.
with the blood in it.
so now he can turn tall people into vampires.
Now they can make a tall people vampire apocalypse.
Yes, they want to feast on everybody.
But they can't control him. Are they controlling him?
He sort of does.
Sort of. He doesn't. It's weird.
They're like he just sort of joins their gang.
Like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
so
God
there
damn
at the
Doesn't
thing.
matter.
He shows up at the.
the cops show up.
Cops show up at the garage. They,
And they-
shoot him with guns.
They scream, "Get down!" like
a
78
lot,
times.
and it's
Yeah.
super blown out, and it's amazing.
Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down!
I like how your energy just totally.
Uh,
It's super amazing. So now the ankle biters have a
they
head
beat
biter.
up the cops, right? They kill the
Yeah,
cops.
I think they kill him,
They killed the cops
and then
and
Yeah.
leave.
but then we flash back to Drexel, and Drexel needs a vehicle.
To get to where the cops told him to be.
Well,
And then he
just so happens that a nice 2000 sub Mustang pulls up. It's all tricked out, and this guy gets out and he goes, "Hey, we need your car." The guy's like, "Man, fuck you," and he's like, and they just punch him in the stomach,
Yeah.
they robbed someone.
and then they take the keys.
He's
and
the
they're like,
hero of the movie.
Yeah, yeah. He's like,
He just robbed someone.
he
Yeah.
turns around and goes, "Well, you taking my car?" And he just flips him off
Yeah, he
and
gives him
drives
the
away.
finger.
It's like, why are you fighting the war between good and evil if you're a fucking asshole?
Douche, man. The guy's
yeah.
like, "Oh man, my car."
Like Blade wouldn't do that.
No, please.
Like, why is he? You're not trying to protect humanity and be an ass. I'll do that.
I need people around to be shitty to.
Yeah.
If these vampires kill all the people, who am I gonna be shitty?
I can't be a dick.
Oh, but then then they cut him off on the bridge, right? Like they're on that bridge and they fight, because he fights the new tall vampire and he gets his ass beat. But does he? Like,
Where are
Does
you?
that happen then?
Yeah, because remember they're in that weird tricycle thing that has the seats.
They have the trike.
Dude, that
motorcycle.
what was that?
There was a bunch of them by the end.
Yeah, there was.
It's
somehow-
It's like a
so
baby
weird.
carriage that's also a bike.
Yeah.
It looked weird.
Like a chopper, not like a bike. It's like a chopper. It had like the big handlebars and everything. Nonsense. God, what happened?
How about the strip club?
well,
Isn't that not
no,
long
no,
after
No,
that?
that's
No,
the rave.
Remember, because they
That's
have
later.
the guy who looks like Manny with him.
They kill the stoners after they escape him the first time.
But yeah, but they have to fight on the bridge first.
Does that happen then?
Yeah, remember, because they fight on the bridge. The other guy shows up
Manny shows up.
and he's like, he's got that bow and arrow, and they shoot the big dude in the ass, and he just like licks it
Oh right.
because he's like, it's got dwarf.
Oh God! Did that happen then?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
had to happen then.
I feel so tired now. I don't know why.
So yeah, they fight on the bridge. The guy, the rich guy, the like old dad, basically.
Yeah.
He shows up while
With an
Rex
old man.
is fighting the big thing.
The old man that
Shoots
showed up.
And gave him the crossbow.
So he shoots him with the arrow, but they don't explain that for another like 2 scenes.
Yeah,
So
like-
you're just like, what the fuck was that?
Wait, are you talking about the old guy that just appeared out of nowhere?
Yeah, and they
No.
he
not-
sells him the
'cause-
bow, and then they get in the car together. And
Okay,
drive
I'm
off.
thinking of the other old guy that appeared out of nowhere that we thought was the cowboy, who turned out not to be the cowboy. Yes, there is a
Fucking
cowboy.
I can't believe it! But it's impossible to talk about because it's so boring. Everything happens like 15 minutes apart, and they just interject characters out of nowhere.
Oh my god. Let's.
All right, they fight on the bridge. He gets his ass kicked by the tall vampire. They
Right.
escape. The fucking old guy shoots him. What happens after that?
They get to the strip club.
It's not a strip club.
The
It's a rave. They eat the stoner
dude,
people.
it
before
looks
that.
like
Yeah,
whatever.
they eat the stoner people
Because
in
there's a guy and a girl smoking weed. They mumble every line.
Yeah,
of
you gotta
dialogue.
let
You
me
Oh
can't
hear
my
hear anything.
god, it's
It's why it's so hard to talk about. Because I remember that scene where they talked about that thing. It's because it didn't exist. Nobody talked about anything. It's just people being like,
No.
and then fucking dwarves come out and kill them all. And you're like, what is this?
But we're closing in on the one scene where there is a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Where literally like 60% of the dialogue
dialogues
the
in
whole
one scene. Yeah,
fucking movie is right there.
Mm.
And it explains the whole movie, but it's like 70% of the way through the movie. So it's like,
dude, it's yeah.
anyway,
Bad.
so
They get away. They do the thing. They
Then
eat
it's-
the stoner people because they're smoking weed and they see the dwarves and he's like, "Oh man, this stuff's really good." And he keeps smoking weed
and then they eat them.
and then they eat him and it's over.
And the
you're
woman
like,
screams with a
but that's the
piercing.
first time the tall vampire eats a human.
Yeah.
Because he goes. So he said something to the effect of, "Did you like that?" or
Yeah,
whatever, 'cause
yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
understand anybody.
But then, okay, the next 2 scenes are when the sister,
Here we go.
who was ordering the part,
Oh
shows
god,
up
so
and
so
slaps T-Bone in the face and says, "Where's my brother?"
Yeah, she thinks he's one of the dwarf vampires.
And he's
ankle
like,
biters.
"Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And they take her
You
back
got
to
the
their.
wrong thing. You take
it's
him
so
back.
confusing to have a vamp. Right, the guy that's not. I don't even know what I'm
but
saying. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yes.
They go back to like their little sanctum
Wherever.
sanctorum
It looks
thing.
like a basement of an old
Of an old
church, or
church,
something,
yeah.
But where is it?
And
But
that's where he explains everything that
God,
we've had
it's
questions
beautiful.
about
Here we
up
go.
to this moment.
this movie
Oh,
sucks.
it sucks
on an
pretty bad.
amazing level. This is where he goes, "What, vampires movies are fucking bullshit." This description of vampire. He goes, "Sunlight hurts our eyes a little bit. You can't kill us." He basically says we can't be killed
Right.
except by injecting other vampire blood into a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It causes the plasma to explode or something.
So,
Which
it
is
just-
from
it doesn't
that.
make
While
any
not the
sense
same,
to
that is
me.
very similar to
Blade.
Blade. As far as like the
makes
plasma
that- yeah.
exploding aspect
Yes, but
with syringes.
that's where they made a thing that they
It's an
made
antivirus.
something that affects the blood.
Right.
He just goes vampire blood. It's the only way to kill him. No more explanation than that. Vampire blood.
Like he didn't even say another vampire's blood.
Or like a different, like augmented vampire blood that I made that's
No.
special.
Just standardized
Because that's
vampire
why
blood.
the arrow
Because does he
thing-
realize that vampires have vampire blood inside them
That's
already?
what I said while we were watching. I was like, vampires. So
Dude,
it's like
it gets further fractured from that.
so a vampire. I'm a vampire. I need to drink blood. I need to drink human blood to go into my body and be my blood. Right? It gets into the blood.
Yeah.
So I need to ingest blood
Yeah.
because I'm a vampire.
Yes.
Right.
But to kill me, all you have to do is take some of another vampire's blood and put it in me.
What happens if you
What is it?
took
it
his
just
blood?
doesn't make any
What if
sense.
you took a syringe of his blood out of him and then re-injected it in
Would
him?
that kill him? That's what I'm asking. Because
That
it's
can't
like,
kill him. That's just his own blood.
but
It's
said
vampire blood.
Is vampire blood,
Dude, who knows? Who
That's
knows?
what-
We don't even know if it's science or magic, really. So
We don't. Yeah.
But they do explain that dwarf vampire blood can only kill dwarf vampires because that's what the arrow was that he licked was full of dwarf vampire blood. But he was a tall vampire and it didn't affect
That's
him.
right. So they've established
Oh
that
my
it has to even be the
God.
same species of vampire.
That
So basically,
this guy, I mean,
it's so convoluted.
it's unbelievably convoluted and
Think-
stupid.
think about
It's
this.
so stupid.
so like they established that the other hunters, like the vampire hunters, have been trying to kill Drexel because he's a vampire. How the fuck were they going to do that?
and he's just.
Because he's
does
a
it bother
tall
you
vampire.
that he's
He's
just
a tall vampire and he's
and
the
there's
only tall
nothing,
vampire.
yeah, so there's nothing that could kill him.
They're not vampire hunters. They're Drexel hunters. They only hunt that guy.
And they have nothing to do it with. They can't
How
kill
are there
him.
more than one of them?
Does it
How is there a group?
Why is
of
he?
vampire
Why
hunters?
is he a half breed though?
Okay.
That they also explained that
Yeah.
in that scene.
They
Bob.
said, God
Did they? I
damn it.
must have been getting my delivery
Oh.
food at that point. I think
when
I was, yeah.
It's a very liberal use of the word "explain."
Yeah.
They say words with that
Yeah,
in it.
even
and
okay, that's the
so-
best
so-
part.
yeah.
Because even Drexel's like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
He's
he's
basically
like, I was
like,
born a human, and then when I was 15,
started-
I started getting real thin and frail. No
And
matter what I
sensitive
ate.
to light.
That's right. All right, I remember saying.
He's
I
like-
started.
and
Yeah.
I was in the
He
hospital.
saw a
for 2
truck filled with
days.
blood or
A
something.
saw-
tray, like a cart at the hospital.
Okay,
He's
yeah,
like,
he drank.
I
Yeah.
drank
instinct
it.
took over, and I drank the whole
He
thing.
he's a virgin birth vampire.
and he drinks it
He's
all.
like, I traced my lineage back to Pablo's Flago, blah, 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 blah,
like the last, like they were from
whatever,
Rome
the last
at the same
vampire
time.
in Rome.
And the woman's like, so your mom got knocked up by a vampire? I don't believe it. And he's like,
Your great grandmother
yeah,
got
yeah.
knocked out by vampire.
He's like, I don't know. What do you think? He's like, it's just like,
that's
I'm
the
not
best
really-
I can figure out, bitch. My whole life, I'm just a fucking weird hybrid freak
Dude, if his great
with
grandfather
cat eyes,
got
and no one else has cat
if
eyes.
his
but I
great
have
grandmother
cat
got
eyes.
knocked up by a vampire, then would his parents be? Somebody would have
He's
had
like,
to been a
"But this
vampire
disease
between
never
him.
manifested in my family
Until me. But
Oh
they never go into anything more
God!
than why. Dude, there's nothing.
That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah, there's no whys, no hows, no whats.
Whatever.
Just a bunch of words.
It's what it's.
It's so goddamn terrible. I loved it in bursts. It was mostly a sea of hatred,
Oh.
and then like an explosion of joy
Oh.
would happen for
So-
like a millisecond, like stuff like that. But then like the music would start again. It's just like I want to stab myself.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Then,
Ugh.
oh, didn't they? They also played like Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies. At
Yeah,
one
they played a
point.
techno,
techno
version, but
version.
not the entire. It's killing me, man.
I forgot
yeah.
about that.
It's so bad.
So
All
then,
this unresolved shit because they just cut a loop too early, and we're just like, oh, just keep looping this thing.
then the old man
Oh.
vampire hunter shows up, and he's like, "We got to take these fuckers out." And that's when they suit up, and they and
Well, no,
just-
they say we gotta wait for the cowboy.
no. They're going to fight Drexel. Drexel and the vampire hunter are going to the club,
Oh,
and they go to that club where it's
Why do I feel like...
No. That's not it. That's not it. Bob's right.
No. The cowboy comes.
Stop.
Stop talking!
You shut up.
The cowboy comes at the end.
All the old men are in the scene at the club because the club is the second to last thing.
No. The cowboy doesn't show up. There's just two because the third person fighting is the stripper woman.
Oh, you're right.
Oh my god. I guess Huey, you've seen it more than we have.
I've seen the very first scene twice now.
Okay, so
God in heaven.
They go to this rave.
Bob's like morphing.
He's put his hat on. He's just like, I'm dying.
He's cocooning himself in. He's trying to be a.
We're near the end. We can get there.
Okay, so they go to the like rave. The music's awful. They spend a lot of time on this woman's crotch, but thank God she ended up to be a character, sort of.
I
They
guess.
really spent a lot of time on her crotch. And then the tall vampire goes to the rave and just starts biting people.
Yeah.
And they kill everybody and he dips. And then
there's also that shot of the stripper.
the stripper gets out
There's a
while he's
zoom.
killing
There's a lot of
people.
zoom
Oh,
shots
really slow
bad
zoom.
that has like a airplane zooming past sound effect.
Yeah.
It's like
It's supposed to be like a
I need to
whip
make
shot,
$300
but they don't know how to
today.
do it, so they just put a really long, awkward walking
thing on
shot.
it. Yeah.
It's bad. She steps out and she goes, "What the fuck? I needed to earn $300 tonight."
And they kill.
Everyone is dead.
Yeah.
She's like, "I needed to get $300 tonight." They leave, and then
Well, no, like Drexel and them show up first, and they're like, "We gotta go. We can't be doing this." And they leave and walk out while
as
Drexel's
they're
walking in. And
it's
just like-
insane. It's insane. They left milliseconds before they
They
were
literally-
opening
it's
the door
so
as
casual.
they were opening the door and just like whoop.
I'm surprised they didn't say like good game, good game.
See you later.
Yeah.
See you at the climax.
Oh my god.
What? They walk in, all the people start getting up off the ground. That's when the stripper's like, "What's going on?" They're like, hand her a pile of syringes and go, "If anybody gets near you, stab them." And then a shitty fight sequence after shitty fight sequence. That's all this movie is white people slapping meat together.
It's so
awful,
shitty.
shaky cam shots.
It's like this is gonna look like Jason Bourne. No, it's not.
Nothing ever will that you ever make will look like anything except what you made when you're this guy.
Like, and the stripper like
It's so bad.
He's in like purgatory. You can only make ankle biters,
I
nothing
went to
else.
film school for 20 years and I still can't do anything but this. It's just 'cause it's your destiny.
dude, fucking what was it? All right, so the stripper is like kicking ass. She's doing like
killing
roundhouse
people.
kicking
She's
stuff.
killing people.
Yes, she is.
And then he's like, they kill everybody. He's like, "Is a lap dance out of the question?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right then." And he just like, it's like an Ace Ventura moment.
Yeah.
And he walks out. God
Oh,
damn.
what a crap.
He has, yeah, it's terrible. He has no character whatsoever. He's just an asshole.
Simultaneously,
They killed every vampire that they just made.
T-Bone is back with the sister.
That's right. While this is happening, T-Bone's with the sister, and that's when a dwarf vampire shows up and fucking turns T-Bone.
Like, you didn't see that
Yeah,
fucking coming.
Yeah.
Like I
You
said
just
before,
have a-
like that's why it was so weird that he had a non-vampire dwarf companion because his best friend needed to get turned into a vampire.
Also, we forgot to say why he's
but
why they're
vampire
best
dwarf
friends.
blood only works on vampire. You know what I mean? So like, he had to be a humanoid dwarf. It's insane. Wait, we skipped that.
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
Where he's like, T-Bone, tell him how we met. And he's like, he killed my parents.
But only before they were about to bite me. And then it cuts to fucking Linda or Susie or whatever.
Yeah.
It cuts to her. She had been sitting down, and then cuts to her like standing up. It looked like the. I'm looking at a dead body shot from a 1940s like mystery.
Yeah, it did.
For some reason,
God
and
damn it.
For like half a second, I thought it was a flashback where they were to show how they met. They don't.
No.
They just say that. So we're. Both of his dwarf parents turned into vampires and tried to eat him, and he showed up and killed them. So he's both right. I mean, I have to assume that both of his parents had to have been dwarves because Drexel murdered them before they ate him.
Yeah, they had to have been dwarves.
They had to be. Right?
So it's just
Otherwise,
it's just
Drexel
So weird. How
would-
old was he? How long ago did that happen? How old was Drexel when he was 15? Drexel could have been doing this forever. We have
right.
no idea.
Yeah, right. He could really be really old. We don't know.
They don't establish that.
He can't be any older than the 1800s because that's when the last tall vampire died in 1807.
Yes.
And so he could be like from the 50s or 60s, but
Well, that vampire could have been his father that like had sex with his mother.
maybe we don't know. They never established Drexel's age.
So many questions.
So anyway,
Ankle
they
biters.
turn T-Bone and they leave, and they kidnap the
And
sister.
they kidnap the sister. And then they get back and they're like, T-Bone, where you at, buddy? And that's the only other time the giggle happens. Because it shows T-Bone step out and he goes,
Yeah.
And he
So the
comes
beginning, it was actually T-Bone the whole time.
oh!
Oh.
Then
And
he starts fighting him. And he
he
picks up Drexel over his
spins
head,
him
and
over
spins
his-
around, throws him on the ground. They fight. He's there with the old man, vampire hunter Manny. They fight a bunch. Is there
They
a
kill
third
T.
person
They
in
kill.
the room?
No, not yet. They kill T-Bone. And
Yes,
then they're like,
they kill him with the syringe.
and they're like, we gotta.
He cries, sort of.
They
not
call
really.
like the other like the ankle biters call him. And he's like, how'd you get this number?
Oh yeah.
He's like,
He's like, how'd you get this number? He's like, we got a lot of stuff when we got to T-Bone. And they make him talk to the girl, and he's like,
Go
"What do you
fuck
want?" And
yourself.
they're like, "Come get me." Blah blah blah. We'll tell
he's
you
like-
where we are. Let's get it over with. We all want this to be over.
yeah, and then
Jeez,
We
I
all
want this to
wanted
be
it
over.
so then
Christ.
it's like a
Jesus.
5-minute scene of them suiting up. and
Dude, it's
just-
so long.
I can't believe how some of these shots were so long.
It's so long.
This was
nice.
if this
Sweet.
was, if you cut out like 35 minutes of this,
It'd still
it'd be
make
like the length of a TV movie.
yeah,
kind of thing.
and it'd be cohesive.
Yeah, and it would make more sense and not put you to sleep.
But
God, it was long.
and then that's when the old man with the bolt action rifle is just standing there.
That's when they talk about
Well,
the
they talk about the cowboy
because they're like,
before
we gotta go pick
that.
up the cowboy. And he's like, well, we better gear up so we can go pick
And
up the
during
cowboy
the
at
gear up
airport.
sequence, a man appears.
An
Oh,
old man.
okay.
That-
we
so
all were
we
like, there's
assumed-
just another old man on screen. What's
Why?
happening?
We assume he was the cowboy.
We thought he was the
because he looks
cowboy.
kind of like an
And
old
he's got
guy.
a bolt action rifle. He looks like classically.
Yeah,
Right.
he isn't. He was the guy who sold Manny the old
At the
they're all
begin-
old guys. The first old vampire hunter number 1
Rich guy.
was this is the guy who sold him that.
Right.
So old vampire hunter number 2 is the guy who sold old vampire hunter number 1 his
Ugh,
bow and arrow
It's
out
a
of his
mess.
trunk.
Right.
And then they go to pick up old vampire hunter number 3 at the airport, who is the cowboy or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like flying
and
like
he's
a little
just
ultralight.
another old man.
And he doesn't do anything.
But he's
He
really.
doesn't do fuck
At
anything.
all.
He is the oldest of them all, and he does nothing.
He's supposed to be like a Wyatt Earp kind of
Yeah.
character, but he's like flies in on like an ultralight, like a one-man little aircraft that
Yeah.
has no.
But he
body.
doesn't really do anything during the end fight scene.
He shoots like 2 dudes, and that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
He fires a gun.
He's so old.
And
They
he's-
could have gotten a Tourette that did more than him.
And they said, hey,
It's true. He
Oh,
would have fired more times.
They
said-
fired so many guns in a vampire movie. It's,
he
they
said,
can't.
he said, you know, we can't let
Shut
him
up.
leave.
You need a bomb.
Like that's the one thing he did. He was like, we gotta kill this. He wants to kill Drexel,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know, we can't let him leave alive. That's the only thing he says.
Oh
That's of
yeah.
any consequence to anything.
Was that a thing that they were trying to still kill Drexel at that point?
He wanted to kill Drexel. That's like
Ugh.
because he pulled like the second he lands, he goes, "Been looking for you," and he pulls a gun on him and just like points it right in his face. He goes, "Get that out of my face, you dick!" Or whatever the fuck.
This movie.
Anyway, we're right at the last scene. Right at the
Oh.
last, like so, the tall vampire, the big shitty tall vampire, goes to a bar, like a biker, bar, and turns
Oh.
the entire biker bar into
And
vampire.
now there's like 100 tricycles.
yeah, there's so
There's
many.
so many of
There's
them.
so many.
And-
Oh
and-
my
and weird
god.
bus versions of motorcycles.
And then there's like a
So-
dune buggy.
Yeah, there was the dune buggy.
The
cars,
sound
just
is
like,
blown to fuck.
that, yeah,
it's
for the whole
just
rest
con-
of the
they're-
movie.
they're
it's
driving
just
in a
some
circle.
motorcycles.
They're just driving in a circle around this, around nothing actually. They're not.
Nothing.
They're not driving.
No,
around
it's
a
like
circle, yeah.
a wagon trail. You know, like the wagon circle they used to make in the Old
It
West.
shows them driving on the road for a long ass time.
Oh shit! It's an
Jesus, thank
hour.
God.
We gotta
We
finish
hit
the
an
scene.
hour.
We gotta get to the Bob Rose scene.
Oh right.
Yes. Bob Rose fucking your essence edited.
I
too,
did.
these.
I'm
Okay.
proud of it.
So, anyway,
so good.
we'll speed through it.
I think I was about to fall asleep
Yeah,
when we were
it's
watching
really
this
bad.
until that happened.
They kill all the vampires
All
except
of
for the ankle biters that are
Yeah.
left.
It's a
They
bunch of
kill all the
horse shit
bikers,
fighting.
they-
It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
And
really
okay, they kill
boring.
all of them except for like all the new vampires. They kill them except for
All
so
the tall vampires are dead.
the big tall. No, the tall like the.
Except for him.
He comes up
Except
and
for the
stabs
OG.
Drexel with one of the.
He
the
stabs him
syringes.
with a needle.
Yeah.
From
To-
where? Whose needle? For what?
Who knows where
Did
he
he
got it?
say anything? He stabbed him with a needle. He goes down in the funniest fucking way. man.
That's the Bob Roast. He's
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
oh.
His voice is all pitched down. He's really slow mo.
It's in slow. I want to see it in regular speed because he had to be going. Like it had to be at that speed for the amount
Yeah,
of O's.
but
that
it sounds
happened.
really funny.
And he
as it
falls
is.
to the ground, and Drexel is dead.
You think?
He turns around. The big
Dewey?
walks around.
I never thought he died. I
Drexel
never
sits
seen him like he
back up.
died.
Like, did the movie think it fucking tricked us?
Yeah, he was dead for less than a millisecond, and he just got up again.
Drexel sits up and goes, "Hey, why don't you try that? Why don't you pick on somebody your own size? Let's fight for real." And it zooms in on his
No, he
face.
goes round two.
Yeah, round two.
Motherfucker.
It zooms in
some
on his
shit.
face, and he does a Bob Rose like face alteration where his eyes and like lips go.
They like shoot. Yeah, they like squirt up at the end. It's
It does. It's supposed to look like
And it
he's
makes, like, a
morphing into a
tiger
vampire,
noise.
but it's just like you took like the liquefy tool and just went bloop on your eyebrows and a
and,
little on your ears.
Yeah.
It just
it looked.
And he was
weird.
like,
like you did. You know what? I was like, you're gonna do that. Why didn't you go crazy with it at least? Because he just made a little adjustment, enough to be
Ugh.
creepy about it.
dude, that was so
it
funny.
made like a lion noise too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he kills
'Cause
that
I've
dude.
seen- it was like Buffy. You know when they go,
Yeah.
they have like a growl. Yeah.
And he kills that dude. They kill all the dwarf vampires except for one who gets away.
Dude, that one. All right, there's like a fight happening, and you're forgetting about the dwarf vampires because you've been watching any tall people fight for so long. And the first dwarf vampire that eats it is the funniest because
Oh,
it's a shirt. It's just a fucking like short dwarf with a big beard and a do rag and sunglasses,
Running
wearing a
toward-
wife beater, just go like arms flailing, like runs around a giant block of wood or like a pile of wood.
and they blow him away
Yeah,
immediately.
they just shoot him with a bunch of darts.
It's not impressive whatsoever.
It's
It's, a
so
huge
dumb.
build up to nothing. It's all he literally gets hit off screen.
Yeah.
You don't see it.
You don't see it
There
happen.
was something else that happened really fun.
He throws like the last little one's coming to kill Drexel after he kills the tall
That's
dude.
right.
And he chucks the thing right into his neck.
but then it cuts to a hallway shot.
He's like,
What was that? Or was that in something else?
oh, I don't remember that.
What?
Never mind.
I don't know what you're talking. Dude.
Anyway, it ends with Drexel going, all right,
What?
I'm
I'm
out of
having visions.
It ends with Drexel going, all right, I'm out of here. And he just drives away.
Yeah.
He's out.
Yeah, Drexel literally leaves the movie.
Where's
9
the
months later.
Where's the sword? What happened to the sword?
Doesn't matter.
It's just-
Anybody
Somewhere.
can use that sword to make more vampires.
9 months later.
You don't even have to be a vampire to use that sword.
No.
Where is it? He's supposed to be Blade, and he had access to a super crazy sword that makes vampires.
Yeah, you
And
know
he
what?
didn't leave with it?
Anyone can say the incantation and stab somebody and turn
Yes!
into a
They have to
What
know
a
the
weird
incantation.
vampire mythos that a sword can turn someone into a vampire.
None of this makes any goddamn
Usually
sense.
the sword is like the thing that
It
kills
the
a vampire.
Yeah, it makes no sense. This movie is completely
The fact that you
fucked up.
stab someone in the gut.
I gotta make a vampire real quick. Stab.
9 months later,
9 months later.
we see a little girl playing with two dolls.
And the
No,
last-
dude, she is not
She's
playing
not
with
playing.
it.
She's just
She's
sort of
like
holding them.
She looks like her parents have been yelling at her for an hour and she's just ready to cry.
Yeah, she's just holding
She's like
them.
shivering.
We see the final ankle biter leap through what looks like a highway
Yeah, she's
barrier thing.
Like, she looks like she's playing in a building that got hit by a bomb.
Yeah, the vampire's probably not even the worst problem she
Yeah, I
had.
know. Like, kill that. Just let the girl die. Her life is fucking terrible, it seems. She's depressed, sitting in a bomb building,
like she's gonna cry.
getting hunted by vampires. Like, just let it happen.
So she like he's sneaking towards her, and like he looks up, and Drexel and the old man vampire hunter number one are like, "Remember us?" or some shit like that.
Been a long time.
And he's like, "Oh shit." and then it ends with a big bang, and that's the end of the movie.
And then there's the song over the credits, which is
All right,
so bad.
I still
It's-
can't think of the name of this band. The guitar riff that had been playing through almost the entirety of the film is the intro to some song by a band I can't think of the name of. God damn it! But I've heard the song, and then that ending credit song is like that guitar riff, but them going like, what do they say?
3 feet tall, 2-inch bang. And then
3
that's
feet
super
tall,
blown out.
2-inch bangs.
It's like 3 feet tall,
2-inch bangs. 3 feet tall.
and then it's like 3 feet tall, 2-inch
bangs.
2-inch bangs.
2-inch
It's
bangs.
so, dude, it's so bad. And so I'm like, I know this song. I can't think of the name of the band. I'll just wait for the credits. Because clearly they would credit them. I've heard that guitar riff through the entirety of the film.
Nope.
Credits themselves for the fucking 2-inch fangs fucking song. Which is just a loop of a fucking guitar riff that someone else wrote. It's not even like a whole riff. It's a quarter of a... It's terrible. This movie
3
is
feet
so
tall,
bad.
2-inch bangs.
There were no lyrics to that song except
Oh, that's
for
right.
those two
In the beginning,
phrases.
he even says that. He's like, the world is under a plague. It's 3 feet tall with 2-inch fangs. And we're gonna stop it. And that's like, and then it's just like the ankle biters thing. I forgot about that.
This movie's horrific.
It's a mess.
It's pretty bad. It's got a reputation.
You should
I
have
mean,
watched Raw Justice. There was at least a sex scene in that.
Dude, this movie didn't need a sex scene.
this movie.
Actually, I would have loved the sex scene.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah,
To see what this guy did with it would have been amazing.
because Drexel would have. Man, he would have been amazing at
Oh,
sex
I bet he's a great lover.
in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
In his head, too, in real life.
this was no vampire dentist.
So
It was
I would
not.
say
It
instead of
wasn't.
watch this, watch the first 3 episodes of Walking Dead.
Dead.
And
And then watch him get murdered by a zombie. Or you could watch Vampire Dennis.
you can watch Vampire Dennis. It's more entertaining. Bob, you said that, and I was still liking the movie when you said that at first, and I was like, I don't know, this is pretty good. I agree with you now. At the end of the movie, I know,
Yeah,
it's
'cause
not
Vampire
entertaining.
Because
It's
vampire dentist is
draining.
like, it's just a
Well,
thing that you could never
You had
imagine.
You had
No,
an
see,
entire cast
and
of little vampires, and they weren't in the movie.
no,
They turned
the
once they
climax isn't even about them.
yeah, once they made a tall vampire, it was just a vampire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
And
is
then they showed
really
up to get killed at the
how
end.
insulting is that to them? They weren't even like the main characters.
Ah!
Well, what are you gonna do? Have a whole movie starring dwarves?
God,
They're dwarves.
I mean, you're
Bob.
making a movie called Ankle
They're
Biters.
filthy,
Man,
tiny dwarves.
Sarah is gonna be
Sarah
pissed.
Gorman, don't defend the dwarves.
Oh, Sarah, I have nothing to
They
do with
come
this.
from holes in the ground. Have you ever read a book? They're monsters.
Is this your impression of Drexel?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
This is well, we've done
This
it. Is
movie
there anything else?
Sucked. It broke us. Bob had to put a hat on.
He did put a hat on, and he's like cradling himself.
Yeah, man, it's so fine.
Yeah, man. I made it survive, man. I want to put like a security, like one of those like emergency blankets around you right now.
All right.
You know, like one of those firemen's like foil blankets.
yeah.
That's what you need after this thing. It's nothing.
It's really bad.
I can't imagine what a day on the set of this movie was like. Craft service was like handy snacks. That's it.
It was a couple. Catering
So
was
many
a
fake
couple,
non-
like a married couple.
The amount of non.
This
milk-
was made by a bunch of friends, I
Dude.
assume.
These people consume cheese so much, and none of it is made with milk.
All of them poop at least.
It's all oil-based
everyone
cheese.
Everyone involved in this movie. If you poop 3 times a
They-
day, you probably were involved with filming fucking Ankle Biters.
If you own a reality show on DVD, you probably made Ankle Biters.
Oh my god.
God, man.
If you've ever bought shampoo from a flea market.
No, no, Mom.
Oh,
Ah.
man.
It's like,
Are we done?
yeah,
Are we
it's
done? We're
over.
just doing Jeff Foxworthy bits.
I'm trying to think of more. I don't have any.
Dude.
If you've ever worn a Looney Tunes sweatshirt to a wedding.
If you have ever purchased something while wearing sweatpants, you
might have worked on ankle biters.
Dude. If you ever wore a Looney Tunes
to a
t-shirt
wedding.
anywhere. If you've ever been in sunlight in a Looney Tunes t-shirt, you might have worked on ankle biters. If you go to Walmart more than once a week, you work on ankle biters.
If you use a tote bag as a suitcase, you might be.
It's my suitcase.
If you have a garage filled with soft drinks.
Costco.
If you have a refrigerator for butter, you probably
worked on ankle biters.
Jesus Christ.
The butter thing, can't take it. Oh, God. Bye.
Yeah, see you guys. Sorry.
You have just listened to Bonus Disc. Questions, comments, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts and guests of Bonus Disc are 100% valid because they sit high atop Judgment Mountain. So quit your whining.